Hello, everybody. I hope your week is going well. My week is going amazing because I'm here with you. This is the Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am Pastor John McClain of that very Veteran Rescue Mission, the Homeless Veteran Transition Program that serves me, that allows me to serve the veterans so that way I can serve God. So I guess it's a really good relationship. I've learned to love it quite a bit. And I have one of my good buddies here with me, Mr. Ron Arenas with the Guys Next Door, brought to you by Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Hey there, it's always a pleasure to be here.
I know, man. This is a fun day. We get to it's we have one of the funnest jobs in the world outside of the job you have with Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, and getting to talking to this little box thing.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Talk to the outside world.
Yeah, hello everybody, hello America. So, but this would not be the Common Good Radio Show if I did not give thanks to a very loving God that makes it all possible for us to be here, and live this very blessed life. And I usually thank Him with the Lord's Prayer that goes a little something like this. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. So, that being said, we have another amazing show for you today to kind of highlight the good happening in the community, all the amazing organizations that we have that really are kind of the unsung heroes that make this community go. And one of them being a new but good buddy, Mr. Javon with JDB Media. If you want to know if his stuff is cool, if it works, definitely go to the Common Good Media Group Facebook page. You get to see a little bit of his handiwork on there. Welcome, Javon.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And so for those who haven't got the pleasure of catching you on the show so far, I guess fill them in. What is JDB Media, and what do you guys do?
JDB Media is a digital marketing agency that has one mission and one mission only, and that's to help small businesses get more customers.
Nice. That's a good goal.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. That's most small businesses.
That's all of our goals.
Yeah, for
sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we need help because as a business owner, we're not a marketing person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have our niche of what we're doing, but we don't know how to market ourselves.
Well, I'm here to help.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, and me and you both, Ron, you definitely hit home with that one. We just kind of took a stab at it, We kind of trial and error, thousands and thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars later, we're like, okay, this works more or less, and this doesn't work. But to have someone like Javon that you can just kind of be like, okay, save me thousands and thousands of dollars and years of experience and
time.
Education. And tell me how to do this. So, but I wanted to introduce a new segment to the Common Good Radio Show, something that we call the JDB Media Tip of the Month. So take it away, Javon.
Absolutely. So for the tip of this month, it's actually the end of January. It's coming up, and that means that next month we're going to have Valentine's Day. And one of the trends that I see with a lot of product-based and service-based businesses is that they'll create content for social media and advertisements that speak to the benefits of their of what they offer. So stuff that's very educational. And what I want to challenge and invite everyone to do is to instead make advertisements that really speak to people's hearts and their emotions, because that's what Valentine's Day and a lot of other holidays are about, right? So what gets you fired up and makes your heart flutter and gives you butterflies in your stomach during Valentine's Day? And maybe try to find a way to connect that to your product for the upcoming holiday.
Interesting. Give me an example with your own product.
Well, for me, the entirety of what I do is help small businesses. And I know that there are health and wellness companies out there, and there is a beauty company, a skincare and hair care company in particular, that's been focusing a lot on explaining the benefits of the ingredients in their products that I'm working with. I just want to be careful about saying names, but
yeah, absolutely. Well, you can give them free promotion. I don't mind. That's fine.
Well, the idea that we came up with together was bundling some of their popular products together as a spa package, and they can use those spa packages or self-care packages and direct them towards men, boyfriends and husbands, to maybe gift to their favorite woman.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, and that'll make us look good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, I mean, I like the sentiment of that kind of, particularly, speaking to the, what is the pathos, when you do posts. I certainly, obviously I work with homeless veterans. So, for people that care about the veteran community, there's not much that really enthralls passion more than that. So it's certainly, I love the advice you give in line with that of like speak to people's hearts, certainly, as much as my good friend Steve Ochoa, who former KGUN 9 reporter, tells me regularly, numbers tell and stories sell, kind of like really like telling, really speaking to what people care about and being more passionate, romantic, being more poetic. It goes a long way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. So, I guess in that same vein, what's some other advice you'd give people around being more emotional with their marketing?
I don't think it's something that requires a lot of thought. I know for me personally, if you've seen any of the content that I've made for myself on my personal pages, it's just very much what speaks to me and what actually makes me tick. And then, so for me in particular, like, I really like motivational speakers, right? I like motivational speakers, inspiration. I listen to a lot of pastors, and what I'll do sometimes is I'll hear something that really resonates with me, and I'll take the audio and I'll overlay that with an activity that reflects me doing what it is that they're talking about doing. So it may be a clip about making your life easier to live by designing your home in a way that makes winning more convenient, right? It's a lot easier to brush your teeth if you have your toothbrush right out by your sink than if you were to put it in the medicine cabinet. So like small changes like that can make your life a lot easier.
That's such a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Just little simple things. Because like you see the reels with like the little music that you've never heard before in the background, but why not make your own inspirational video with your own daily activities? That's
that really just speaks to me, which if you've seen me on this show before, one thing that I'm a huge advocate for with any kind of content is to make something that really expresses who you are instead of trying to appeal to as many people as possible. I think by trying to be viral, we tend to lose authenticity. And one thing that's very important and that everybody is able to sense is really like, how real are you being? Are you truly being yourself? And doing that well is really what's going to make you stand out.
How can people get a hold of you? And actually, I think you were saying you're not taking on any one-on-one clients, but you're doing consultation now, right?
Right now,
how can people get a hold of you to get that service?
Right. So right now there is a waiting list for new clients. However, I'm still doing consultations, so we can still come up with strategies together. And they can find me at jdbmedia or jdb-media.com, or they can send a text or call at 480-447-6481.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Siobhan.
Absolutely.
That's Siobhan of JDB Media. This is the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm Pastor John McClain here with Ron Arenas with the guys next door with Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. I don't even have time to thank my sponsors right now, so we'll thank them after we come back from the break. We'll be right back. Yeah, that's right. As that smoky voice said, this is the Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am Pastor John McClain of that very Veteran Rescue Mission, here with the coolest guy in Tucson, keeping you cool all summer long and warm all winter long, Mr. Ron Arenas with the guys next door, brought to you by Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Well, thank you. That was a mouthful. Yeah, you got it all out. You were smooth.
For me, I just shut off my mind and just let it go, because if I think about it, I'll butcher it for sure. I'll say your name wrong. I'll say the business name wrong. Everything wrong.
Well, you did great.
Thanks, bud.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. I just try to honor this trust you have in me and starting your own radio show and all the support you've given me for the years. So
well, thank you.
Yeah. That's me channeling the Holy Ghost for you, bro.
Okay. All right. We all need that.
Yeah. So speaking of another amazing person and group and I'm gonna build you up a little bit even before I bring you in, Adrian, just because it's kind of a, a miracle and a kind of an inspirational story in itself. Veteran Rescue Mission, the Homeless Veteran Transition Program that I run, that I'm so blessed and so happy to run, for so many years. I had to pay out of my pocket to take care of homeless veterans to make this program run. But then every now and again, we have amazing people, amazing organizations just randomly donate us money, which is like, oh, okay, I want to, that sounds pretty good. And it's amazing. And it's just like every single time we do, I try to thank the people in some way, shape, or form in that. And what happened was Adrian, I think it was like $100 or something like that they donated. And I saw the name of the email address that donated it, and it was a care center. And I really didn't know what that meant. So, I looked into it further, and I was like, well, this is cool what they do. This is really awesome. I want to know more myself. And two, I want to use our radio show to thank them for this donation and for the support, because I appreciate any support we can get. And then when I reach out to the organization, they're an amazing group of women that they're just all powerhouses, all just beautiful people, all just magnificent. Just it seemed like one greater than the next. And then kind of like when we sat down and met, it just seemed like everything fit, surprisingly. And we kind of, here we are, and we got Adrian Osta with Center for Self-Care. And without me going on anymore, I'll let you tell the listening audience who never met you before, what is Center for Self-Care?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much for having us on, me representing Center for Self-Care. So we are 4 massage therapists, or the owners of Center for Self-Care are 4 massage therapists. And we really wanted to have a space where we can take not only massage therapy, because even though massage therapy is our skill, we knew that in the wellness community, you get a choice when you have wellness care. You have a choice of how you want to pursue your wellness. So we are really a hub of wellness resources for people. And ever since the 4 of us started talking about how do we want this to look, we always knew that getting this information and these resources out to everyone, every single person, not just those who have this extra income that they can spend on getting a massage, which in the past has often been seen as a luxury.
Yeah.
But we're really seeing the benefits on the table and in our wellness community, as well, and really wanted to find a way to get it to people who need it most but don't have access to it. And ever since we had the conversation about starting this company, that's always been in the forefront of our mind, and we weren't really quite sure how that was going to show up for us. So we just said, let's keep doing our work and let's keep connecting, and eventually we will see an opportunity and create an opportunity for this to happen. So we actually were blessed to have an opportunity to do a program for COPE Community Services. And for those of you who aren't familiar with COPE Community Services, the portion that we're helping with is a 90 and 120 day residential program.
Okay.
So so they live at their respective facilities, and we deliver wellness programming at those facilities.
That's awesome.
And when we earned that bid through a grant, we were so excited. It matched every single one of our values, even before we knew it. And we just said, this is it. This is the key. That is unlocking how we can move forward with being able to deliver something that is so profound and so connected and so supportive. And it's not just touch therapies, it's other wellness therapies as well. And we are thrilled to be able to pursue an avenue that we can deliver this to people who really need it the most. So the way we found Veterans Rescue Mission was we wanted to say thank you to our veterans in the community and their communities, their friends and loved ones who support them. So we had a free event, and we had said, if you're going to come and get any services or take any of our community classes today, just drop a couple of bucks in the bucket, and we're going to donate it to a local company, nonprofit serving veterans. And it was clear that Veteran Rescue Mission was the way to go. It just seemed like all of our values aligned.
That's awesome.
And we feel so honored and privileged to have met you, John.
That's such a beautiful story. Yeah, I mean, it definitely touches my heart in so many ways. Not only just because of the support, but just your testimony is my testimony, you know, and I think, a lot of us that do, the service work, that serve humanity, that's where it is, where we walk around life trying to figure out where we can best serve man. And then when we find it, we have that aha moment and there's no turning back. So that's awesome.
It's just been really phenomenal to see the progress that can be made with this complement to the current programming that they have. So these are groups that we want, nonprofit organizations that are trying to help bolster the community and really just bring us together. That's what Center for Self-Care is all about. Whether you come to Center for Self-Care located in Central Tucson, or whether we can help collaborate on a project together, there's plenty of opportunity out there for us to work together to be able to really show people their inherent worth, and touch and community are really a great way to do that.
Okay, 2 questions as we jump out of here. 1, what does your ideal client look like that you're looking for right now? And 2, how can that person get a hold of you?
So our ideal client in this moment is a development or grant writer of a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
And they can email us at info@centerforselfcare.com. So that's center, the number 4, self-care.com.
Awesome. And then, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Adrienne, Center for Self-Care, for joining us.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
This is the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm Pastor John McClain, here with the coolest guy in Tucson, Mr. Ron Arenas, with the guys next door, with Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. And definitely special thanks to our sponsors, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Kiki Rogers Country Financial, Gap Ministries, Seton Photography, JDB Media, Center for Self-Care, our favorite, We Care Tucson, Action Print and Copy, 100 Plus Guys Who Give, Sonoran Senior Solution, Crossroads Coaching, Desert Sunset Realty, Synergistic Self, White Stallion Ranch, Bukowski Law Firm, Kiki's Best Friends Radio Show, The Guys Next Door Radio Show, and the Tucson Tasty Show. All that and more after the break. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show. Stop talking to each other. Let me intro us. Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm Pastor John McClain of the Common Good Radio Show, here with Ron Arenas, our technical agent, dealing with the headphones because our guests can't hear. I think we're getting it figured out, or we won't, or we'll just won't use headphones at all. We'll just listen to it. Can you hear me? Yeah, she can hear me, so we're good. We have Maggie with Sonoran Senior Solutions, and then she brought an awesome special guest with us today, Miss Cindy Wilson with People's Mortgage. Thank you, Maggie, for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, you're talking to that guy. That's your friend. Yeah,
glad
it
to be
seems like
back.
you're talking to me. You're really not, though. You're talking to the microphone.
To the microphone.
Yeah, he's your
the
friend.
people on the microphone.
Yeah. I'm your real friend, but right now he's your best friend.
All right. Sounds good.
So for those who don't know what Sonoran Senior Solutions, for some reason they didn't think to tune in last time we had you on the show. Fill them in.
All right.
Yeah.
I own Sonoran Senior Solutions.
Okay.
I'm a senior living advisor.
Okay.
So I help families when they're looking for assisted living, memory care, even independent living, and in-home care too.
Nice. And just to kind of just flush it out a little bit, just because I don't think I flushed it out enough last time we had you on the show. What does that entail? Like, do you go and you tell them like, okay, this is what you do, or what? Do you actually walk them through it? Do you
explaining
go with
what
them?
I do is a really big
I want it.
part of
I
it.
want it.
I get a lot of questions about what it is.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are like, so are you a social worker, or do you work for the assisted living on the corner down there? And no, I'm neither. I'm not a social worker. I don't work for one assisted
Even though
living.
you'd be a great social worker.
Well,
I think so. You
I
have
would
great.
love
You have a
that.
lot of patience.
But
Sure.
probably every case is catered.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because every
Yeah.
case is so different.
Talking to
Totally.
you, having been a social worker for over a decade now, the conversations that I've been getting from you recently are just like social worker work.
Yes, there
Mm.
is a lot of crossover, and there
Mhm.
are professionals that, that are placement or senior living advisors that do have that background.
Mhm.
There's a lot of overlap.
Mm-hmm.
So
So let's just say, like, I have a 96-year-old grandpa. Granted, he lives in Atlanta, so this isn't an actual case; it's a theoretical case. That we need to get into assisted living. So if I did call you, you would come and sit down with my grandpa,
Yep.
and we
Yeah.
would find what
if
fits
you're
him
in
best.
Tucson, then I'll meet with you in person,
Mhm.
and I do an assessment. So I get to know my client, the
Mhm.
family, look over their clinicals, their diagnosis, and from there I can match based on what level of care they're needing. Like if they need memory care or not. Maybe they would be really best suited to independent living for now. There's a lot of support in independent living.
Yeah.
It's a really good place to start. And it's also really a very affordable place to start. It provides meals, housekeeping, a lot of social opportunities and clubs. It's a really nice option.
And you go through, like, you actually fill out the paperwork and like take them to these places and stuff like that.
I set up the tours.
Okay.
Some of the paperwork really has to be done by the family, but I can assist as much as the family wants me to.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, I handhold from the beginning. And, the reason I brought Cindy with me today is because sometimes I have a family where I really cannot, I can always find a place, but it's not necessarily what my clients need.
Nice.
And sometimes they don't know what they can do or what their options are. And I recently had a couple that I was helping, and after getting to know their care needs, their situation, their finances, everything start to finish, I realized that maybe finding assisted living or a care home was not the best option for them. And I started to ask the wife, I said, is this, like, are you hoping to find a place for your spouse? And I said, or if there was a way to keep him home, would you want to explore that? And her eyes lit up, and she wanted to find a way to keep him home. But, they didn't have the resources to cover the hours of in-home care.
Nice.
And so I made a call to Cindy and
that's a beautiful segue. Awesome.
Yeah.
So Cindy, tell us about that and how this relationship's kind of played out for you.
Well, so sometimes it helps when Maggie calls me and she has that situation, I can then visit with them, see what their financial situation is, what the stressors are. Is it their monthly income is completely gone out to mortgages? Is it going out to expenses? Do they need help to cure and pull that in? So what I can do is look at their home and see if a HECA mortgage works for them. If they don't have a mortgage on that house, that's going to give them a considerable line of credit to work with. Instead of depleting their savings account or their retirement accounts, maybe they can start accessing the equity within their home to meet some of those budgets to keep their loved one in their home, with Maggie's help on finding some in-home care placement. And in that way it takes now all their Social Security income, if they're receiving VA benefits or pensions of some sort, now they can reallocate that into life.
Nice.
Instead of all the other expenses. Maybe they have a mortgage they need to pay off, and if they just paid off that mortgage, now their monthly income can cover and help out accessing in-home care and keeping their spouse at home.
Yeah, they can be comfortable then.
Yeah, then they can be comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so I guess kind of, I guess real quick, Maggie, as we jump out of here, tell us what, this has been my question of the day, what an ideal client looks like and how people can get a hold of you.
An ideal client for me, honestly, anybody looking for more care than they have at the moment.
I could use so much more care, but go on.
in the senior living
okay, fair enough.
area.
You have a couple years left.
I love when a family calls me and they just say, Maggie, please figure it out for us.
Yeah.
Just let us know what the best thing is and take us on tours and, like the families that are happy to have me just take it all off their shoulders. I love that.
That sounds very
and you can show them
rewarding.
all their options.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Maggie, for joining us. How can
Thanks
people
for-
get a hold of you?
Call me up, 520-954-1739, or you can email me at maggie@sonoranseniorsolutions.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Maggie.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
And Cindy, thank you for joining us as well.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. It's great to be
Yeah,
here.
this is a Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm Pastor John McClain here with the coolest guy in Tucson, Mr. Ron Arenas, with the guys next door, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. And we'll be back right after the break. We also invite you to join us every Wednesday at the Arizona Sands Club at 9 a.m. We have a networking meeting that you're invited to connect with some of the most awesome people in Tucson.
Welcome back. This is the Guys Next Door. I'm Ron Arenas. He is Pastor John McClain.
I don't have my.
There you
there
go.
I am. I'm here.
He really is
Yay. Yeah, absolutely. Another
week.
Yeah, and this is an exciting one. It almost feels like the last hurrah, but a new chapter begins.
Yeah, this is really cool. This is our last week of having a recorded show.
Yeah, and then I have to find something else to do with this 15-minute time slot. So there's that.
I'm sure you'll be able to.
Yeah,
fill
I
it.
think so. Yeah, we have some pretty cool organizations in Tucson that I'm sure that will be fun to talk with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's always people to talk to.
There's always people to talk to for sure, or
Right.
just talk to myself like I usually do. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and answer
yeah.
yourself.
yeah, absolutely. Great company.
Yeah. Well, today with us we have some guests from Blessed Grounds
Nice.
Coffee Roasting Company.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Blessed Grounds.
So basically, we are a specialty grade coffee roaster here in Tucson. We are, right now we are getting coffees from over 20 different small farms in over 10 different countries through direct trade. So
Okay.
we circumvent the commodities market. We're able to bless a farmer, pay them upwards of 4 to 5 times what they would make on the open market. We bring that into our economy. So not only are we blessing farmers globally, but we're able to bless our community. We partner with different nonprofits, Teen Challenge, Children's Miracle Network, things like that. So money that comes in, we want to partner with other nonprofit organizations
Nice.
and really just bring in great coffee and spread love and light.
Yeah.
That's
Very
beautiful.
nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. Go ahead, Amy.
We've partnered with, I want to say, around 20 different nonprofit organizations.
That's awesome.
We've been able to do a lot of events and really just whatever we can do for those organizations, we do. So it has been such a blessing. And I think more than anything, it's just been humbling. Would you
Right.
say so, Jared?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've seen on your website that you've partnered and you've had some special events. Do you have any special events coming up?
That's a great question.
We don't have anything specifically on the calendar just yet, but we do have things that we would like to turn annual. So last year we put on a Christian rap concert in
Oh,
our
wow.
alleyway, and over 100 people ended up showing up.
Wow.
We
Nice.
had Special Eats food truck,
Oh, okay.
and then Teen Challenge was our bodyguards. So I would like to start doing things like that more annual and make them more of a tradition.
But
That's
we're
cool.
always open. You know, if people want to bring us in for wedding, pop-up events, things like that, we're always open to do things like that.
Okay.
So for people who've never, who aren't familiar with Blessed Grounds, I mean, myself included, never been there. Where's it at? What's it about? What can they expect in participating?
So we are located Grant and Fairview.
Okay.
So
I'm
we're
familiar.
Yep, we're in a little strip mall there. That's where our roasting center is. Interesting. We started off just basically to roast coffee. When the Lord gave me this vision, I thought we were just going to primarily roast coffee. And when we started getting everything set up, our consultant had us set up a cafe to bring people in to do tastings and things like that, and it was perfect because we started up this little shop, and when you come in, it doesn't look like much, but when you walk in, it actually opens up. It's very inviting. It's quaint, but it's really nice, and it really helped us through COVID, when everything kind of shut down, wholesale shut down. And so it's nice. You need to come in. What can you expect? The baristas, they're like missionaries. So when you come in, the whole purpose is, you should get a welcome greeting. They should be able to not only take your order, but you should feel welcome as part of the family. And that, I think over the years, that's the thing that we've tried to create the most is how do we bring community together? Daily we walk around and we see people, and how do you bring people together so you can do life together? And you can always do life together over a cup of coffee.
Yeah. On your website, it says that you're using coffee as a source of hope and providing hope to people. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So it goes into how we source the coffee as well, but when it comes in, everything that we deal in is specialty grade, organic, additive free. It's got to be the best. When the Lord gave me this vision, why do anything unless you do it to the best of your ability?
Right.
And so as far as providing hope, I knew nothing about coffee when I got this vision, and without going back, but so when I saw this and I saw the vision, I saw hands praying over coffee beans providing healing for the nations. I just inherently knew it. The Lord gave me this scripture, Ephesians 3:20, all glory to God who is able through his mighty power within us to accomplish infinitely more than we might ask or think. And the fact that we've been able to partner with so many different nonprofits, bring in people. As a matter of fact, one of the things that we did that I would love to do more of, we brought in some students that were, what was the school?
Ironwood Hills School over on Grant Road. So they specifically focus on special needs students. I had 2 students coming in. One was a 19-year-old. She had autism, and her biggest dream in the world was to be a barista. She was very high functioning. So I had our lead barista actually teach her the craft of coffee. We also, going back to what you expect when you come to Blessed Grounds, it's a whole experience, and one thing that we do is go through a coffee education. So there's so much to coffee that I would consider myself a coffee snob prior to working to Blessed Grounds, and I didn't realize that I actually knew nothing about coffee. So we taught her the craft of coffee, and then I had a 15-year-old boy. His name was Christopher. He was nonverbal autistic, and he would come in with his occupational therapist and speech therapist, and just simple skills like crouching down or reading syrup bottles and mopping and sweeping. And from day 1 to the last day that they came, the improvement in their everyday life that we heard about from school, homework, home, regular communication was improved immensely.
Wow.
So I agree. I would love to do more stuff like that.
So that's it. I mean, providing hope, we have such an opportunity, especially, with everything that the Lord's given us. How do we share what he's given us?
Right.
And that's what being the light of the world is. I feel like we're a beacon of hope for the lost. He put us right there in Grant. We've done a lot of outreach in that community. We've seen it transform, and I think that it can even transform even more.
Yeah.
It definitely needs it in that area, and that's it's a beautiful story. It definitely, and it's funny, kind of just the way you're going about it in regard to a coffee company, because I was assuming it with the name that it was your ministry. Yeah. And that's awesome. That, and the funny thing is, with Ron's organization, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, we've never talked about this before, but I see the work he does as his ministry in a way. I don't know if you see it that way, Ron.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of serving.
Yeah. But being in doing, I run a charity, so obviously, like, everything I see is like, oh, it's ministerial work. But it's beautiful to hear your story and see how our testimonies align where I'm doing it with tiny houses and a transition center, you're doing it with coffee.
Yes.
And that's beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Amy, what led you into being involved with the coffee house, the coffee roasting?
So I met Jared in 2017 or 2018 at the gym. And I was back in college at the time, but I had known that he was starting a coffee roasting company. And I was that college girl that was drinking like 3 Trenta cold brews a day. Seriously.
Sure. Yeah.
So I thought that I loved coffee. And my biggest thing with coffee is whether you're having a wedding, a fellowship meeting, ministry. I mean, regardless of what it is, a divorce lawyer meeting, there's always either a cup of coffee or tea included in that. And so
yeah, that's true.
Even before knowing the Lord and before knowing about Blessed Grounds, that is why I liked coffee, because of bringing people and friends together. And so I went to a ministry group. Blessed Grounds wasn't even built out yet. It was just like wood floors, basically, just entered. Like the window wasn't there or anything. And I had people at the group pray over me. And it was the first time anyone had ever actually laid hands on me. And I was like this platinum blonde college girl that was just lost. And I was very weirded out because I didn't know Jesus to the extent that I do now at the time. And so just from that moment to consistently going back to ministry, and then just felt gravitated. I lived up in Catalina and I drove 40 minutes as a customer before working there just to get a latte. But I didn't go for the latte. I went for that experience. So I can speak firsthand about that because I was craving the Lord, but I didn't know that I was craving the Lord. And the baristas were constantly like, well, let me pray for you. What's going on in your life? How can, so it was amazing to experience that as a customer and speak unbiasedly about it. And then I graduated college or I had gotten fired from a job during COVID. So
that happened, I heard.
So he hired me as a barista, and then from there, when I graduated college, I was in this space where I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I didn't have my career path yet, and then so he hired me, and that was my first job after college.
Nice.
Very good.
And how can people get a hold of you guys?
Social media, we are Blessed G Coffee on Instagram. You can DM us or call our store at 520-BLESSED.
Okay, and tell us the address one more time.
902 West Grant Road.
Awesome.
Very good. And people can buy coffee online from you guys, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
We would love that.
Yeah.
Please do.
Well, this is The Guys Next Door, brought to you by Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. I am the co-host, Pastor John McLean. Got my co-host hat on, here with the host of Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, as well as the show The Guys Next Door, the coolest guy in Tucson, Mr. Ron Arenas. We'll catch you guys next time.